Before we get into today's video, I just wanted to let you know that this is a clip taken from episode 5 of the Pathfinders podcast. The entire episode features an interview with Chad Grenier, who is the game director of Apex Legends at Respawn Entertainment. The full podcast episode explores a bit about Chad's career, how Apex Legends started, and then looks at the recent Season 6 update. There will be a link in the description of this video that will take you to the full episode of the podcast if you are interested in listening to it. One of the reasons that I wanted to have a chat with you today as well is that I'm really fascinated with the whole aspect of a free-to-play live service game where it's constantly evolving, there's constant changes to keep the game fresh, feeling new, and really improving the overall game. So I wanted to talk about what the team was looking to change going into Season 6.
Yeah, Season 6 actually has a lot of big changes. We lowered the time to kill slightly, which we're seeing mixed reaction. So we're monitoring that, but I think the we're trying to Battle Royale in nature is very harsh and brutal. Like you jump in, there's a long time investment to even finding gear, and you might not see combat for several minutes into the game, and you may lose that first fight and have to completely start over. And so we're always trying to find ways to kind of mitigate that harshness of Battle Royale nature a bit. And so when we launched the game, we added respawning, which isn't something that any Battle Royale games had at that time. And so that was kind of our second chance mechanic. Like, hey, if you die and your teammates are still alive, they can bring you back. And so now we're looking at further ways to do that. And so slightly lowering the time to kill gives players who get the drop on another player a slight advantage. With the higher time to kill, there was no benefit to strategically encountering a squad or flanking or anything like that, because with the high time to kill, you would hit them with a couple shots. They're aware that you're there, and now it's a fair fight because everyone still has relatively high health. And so we're trying an experiment. We're going to bring down that time to kill just a little bit and try to give advantage to tactical players more than players who can just do the most DPS. So that'll be interesting to see how that goes. Another big change is the crafting system that we just introduced. That's another way to give players another option of how to play. So instead of having to try to run around the map and find certain loot or a health pack or a certain attachment, now they can collect these crafting resources and go to a replicator and build it. And so we're mitigating the RNG nature of Battle Royale looting and trying to give players another strategy for making it to the end game, which is now you can avoid combat, collect crafting resources, and build the gear you want instead of having to kill people and get it out of their death box. So I'm really excited about that feature, and we're always monitoring these things and seeing how the fans react to it and what they want and what they don't like. And but I think from a high level, it's important to provide players with multiple ways to play, and so these are some of the ways that we do that.
Yeah, and I know I've already mentioned this, but congratulations on the Season 6 launch. It's been out for just less than a week as the time of recording this, and like you mentioned, there's been a lot of changes, map changes, character changes, and introduction of a new weapon. And now you've had all of this, I suppose the players and the fans kind of play testing all of this for you. Is there anything which you're not quite happy with, or that you're looking to perhaps alter or change going forward?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is the devotion and the LMG meta right now. We actually just patched yesterday some devotion issues. I think the devotion is a little bit OP right now, and we're addressing that. We also reduced the quantity of them in the map. We reduced the frequency of the gold armor. It's always hard when we do internal playtests. We're playtesting with a couple hundred people daily, and then the very first hour that the game is out, we've got millions of people having played that content. And so you always get different feedback, and the game plays differently in the live game. One of the biggest challenges for us is that when you're playing the live game, there's very little wait between matches. There's millions of players playing the game at any given point, and so when you hit play, within seconds you're in a match. And that's not the case at Respawn in our daily playtests because we don't have millions of people. We sometimes have to wait several minutes between matches, and that makes you play differently. It makes you play more cautiously and more carefully, and you don't want to die. Versus the live game, you may charge and run and gun and take those chances, because if you die, that's okay. You can start another match right away. And so things tend to play a little bit differently internally. So yeah, I don't think we realized the devotion was so OP until it went out into the live game. But that's the beauty of uh, live service. We can constantly tweak and tune the game, and it's never really done.